Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm back with another video, and in today's video, I'm going to be installing this auxiliary fuse box in Project Prelude. So y'all might be wondering, why would you want to do something like this? Well, it's a number of things I want to add to the car. I want to install some gauges, I want to install some car lights, I want to install some interior lights, I want to install some lights in the trunk, some fans to cool the amps in the trunk, and some underglow. And who else knows what's going to come to my mind? Like, this is going to give me the ability to do that. Now, sure, you can just tap into a 12 volt like accessory wire or just tap into the fuse box. But once you start adding thing after thing after thing, this is probably your best bet, because one good thing about this is if you want to take it all out, you can just snatch it all out and you didn't touch any of the factory stuff that's in the car. And that to me is the biggest thing. I'm not touching any 12 volt wires that's running throughout the car, whether it's hot or whether it's accessory. None of that's getting touched. I'm literally going to be pulling straight from battery to power this. Another good thing about this is everything that I add to this will be fused and will be protected, so any faults will be caught and it'll trip a fuse and break it before anything worse can happen, like a fire. So that's enough talking. Let me go ahead and show y'all what I got and how I'm going to wire this into the car. Alright, so all of this stuff you can get off Amazon. I'm going to leave all the links in the description below, but I'm going to start off with the fuse box, obviously. Off Amazon, this got 12 different slots for fuses for different circuits, bus bar for your negatives. You can ground everything with this and just send this out to the chassis, which is good. And I also got lights. These lights will pop on if a fuse is blown or whatever, which is cool. I also have a 60 amp circuit breaker right here. So this is going to be main power. That's going to be powering the fuse box. And obviously it's going to pop if it detects a load larger than 60 amps. Alright, so the next thing I got is a 12 volt relay. This is like a 40 amp relay. Alright, so what this basically does is it's an electronic switch where it got a trigger switch and it got a constant like 12 volt from battery. And that's what's going to allow everything that you hook up to the fuse box to turn off and on with the car, and the fuse box to pull power from the battery instead of through your stock fuse box or through any other source of 12 volts through your car. It's going to pull directly from the power. So I'm only going to need 4 of these 5 wires. So the blue wire will go to the new fuse box I'm installing. The white wire will go to the fuse box in the car to switch this on. The red wire goes to straight battery. The black wire goes to ground, and the yellow wire goes to nothing. That's unused. I also bought 25 foot of 12 gauge wire. This should be more than enough. Now the accessories I'm adding, like the lights and the gauges, are a huge load, but this 12 gauge, everything is 12 gauge for the most part, should be more than enough to never ever give me any type of problems. I also got to add a fuse. This is literally just to switch the relay on. This is not actually giving power to the auxiliary fuse box. I got some Velcro strips, and I need to explain to y'all why I got these by showing y'all the next thing. I got a sheet of ABS plastic. This is basically going to be used to mount the fuse box, basically like this, and then the relay is going to be on here too. And I'm going to cut out a nice little piece, that way that can mount to that using the Velcro. That way it's easily on and off. And this is going to be mounted inside the car. I'm going to show y'all after I get done explaining everything how exactly it's going to go. Last but not least, I got some interior lights that go like underneath the dash and all that. This is the first thing I'm going to hook up to the fuse box. You get these pretty cheap off Amazon. I think I only pay like 20 bucks for it. They all work pretty good. So that's going to go in too. Alright, so now getting into the car, I can show y'all where exactly this is going to go. So I'm going to put it on the passenger side, and y'all may be wondering, why not just put it over there with the other fuse box? Well, it's a lot of stuff going on the driver's side. So I decided to put it behind this panel right here, which I believe is going to look really nice, and it's also going to look stock. You're never going to know it's right there unless you really know. So if you look at the body of the car right here, this is the reason why I'm going to use that ABS flat piece of plastic, because this is actually a hump right here. So I would not be able to actually get this to stick or actually stay on without actually drilling into the car, which I really don't want to do. So it's already 2 holes right here for I don't know what. It's actually M6 by 12. I got the bolts already for it. I can use that to mount the plastic. This will adhere to the plastic with just Velcro, and I can just bolt this to the plastic right from right here. So I have to make no holes into the car. Everything will be fully removable, and everything it's still going to look stock as possible. I'm also going to ground it using one of these holes. It really don't matter. Just takes and paid off, and I'm going to ground the relay, and I'm also going to ground the fuse box using that same ground. I'm going to shoot a wire across the dash to the fuse box over there. That's going to be our trigger. And main battery power, I'm going to find a hole somewhere underneath here to send it out under the hood and wire it up to the battery, and I believe that's it. So I want to just go ahead and get everything hooked up, and I want to get on here and test it, show y'all everything working, and we can go from there. Before working on any electrical, y'all always want to disconnect y'all battery, and if y'all remember, I did a video on these quick connects for this exact reason. Look how easy that is. Get that out the way. I'm gonna go ahead and do the ground too, and we'll fully disconnect.
Excellent.
All right, let's work. Alright, so I got everything wired in for testing purposes. Still messy, obviously, but I literally just want to hook everything up just to test it. I'm going to take those lights I bought, the interior lights. I'm just going to cut the cigarette light off, and I'm going to also go ahead and hook that up to the fuse box. That's going to be the very first fuse, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the ends off right at the end, and let's see if it works. Alright, so I got battery power hooked up. Circuit breaker is, I believe, on. It should be on. Moment of truth. Let's just see live on camera. Did I hook everything up right? This is my first attempt. Let me get the key in. So, as soon as I turn it to accessory, these lights should come on. Hopefully nothing catches on fire. Should hear the relay click too. I can't get the damn key. Yep, it definitely clicked. I heard it. We got a light on the fuse. Oh wait, because I didn't put one in. I put it in the wrong spot. Hold on. Alright, take two. These bottom ones are just spare fuse holders. I had it right there. Alright, try again. So no light. Lights are on. Success. Everything. Let me check, make sure the wires ain't getting hot. So, first attempt. Everything worked out. Let me get the remote so I can change the light. We got red, blue, green. This is a dance with your music. Got all the features. But I did the test. Everything is working. I know it's a mess. I just wanted to test it out today. That way tomorrow I can come in here and get everything cleaned up. I just wanted to test to make sure everything worked. And obviously it do. So now I'm going to spend tomorrow to clean everything up. Make that little plastic piece I need to mount it to the car. And just make it nice and make it look like nothing has ever happened. So I'm going to catch up with y'all tomorrow. I'm going in the house. Alright, so it's a new day. And it's 3 things I got to get done to finish up this project. The first thing I need to do is make the plate so I can mount the fuse box to the plate, the ABS plastic. I need to make it out of that. The second thing I need to go ahead and do is clean up the wiring. I need to shorten the wires so it's nice and clean, and I need to get everything soldered up. And then the third thing I need to do is mount the LEDs. So I'm going to go ahead and start by making this plate. It's pretty cold out here, I ain't going to lie, so I might be rushing a little bit. I might not capture everything. But if y'all have questions, y'all know y'all can always leave them in the comments below, and I answer all questions. So let's go ahead and get this finished up. That way we can see the final product. Alright, so I got the shape I need. So now I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to the ABS plastic. Let's get it. Here's the piece. I got it all cut out. I got the Velcro in there, holes drilled out for the bolts. So now let's go ahead and mount it up in the car and let's see how it looks. Alright, so I got it in. Everything is all mounted up. It's pretty strong, solid, rigid. Velcro's holding, and then I mounted the relay using a bolt over here. So now that's on there good. Now, one thing I need to test is to make sure that this kick panel still goes on. So let me go ahead and throw that on, make sure that fit. If it fit, then we can move on to the next step. And boom, it fit. You will never know that I have so much power back here for all my accessories that I want to install. So now that we got the plate made, kick panel fit good, now it's just time to clean up the wiring. As you can see, I made a lot of these wires longer because it's better to make the wires longer. Once you get everything in place, you can cut it shorter to the exact amount you need. So that's exactly what I'm about to do right now. It's also a few wires that need some ring connectors, like this ground coming from the relay, the positive coming from the relay. They all need ring connectors. So I'm going to go ahead and knock all that out off camera. It's pretty tight down here, so it's kind of hard to film. Plus, it's pretty cold. It's like 22 degrees. My camera is bugging out. So I'm just trying to get done and get this all tidied up. So I'll be back once I got this all cleaned up. Alright, so I got everything all cleaned up. Got some ring connectors on the positive and the ground. Got some spade connectors on the trigger wire and the 12-volt wire. Everything, this is like super clean. Don't mind this back here. This is just in case I need to take all of this down. That way the wires aren't too short and I'm not having to go all the way underneath the dashboard to finesse this stuff. So if I just take these two bolts out, it's enough wire to at least come out a little bit. That way I don't be under the dash. But the last thing I need to do now that this is all cleaned up is install these lights. So since this is a coupe, I don't see it necessary to put lights in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 lights on each side, driver and passenger side. And I'm going to wire it into the fuse box right there. I do have a more in-depth video about installing these lights. I will link that in the top right corner. Y'all can click that to watch that. But I'm going to go ahead and bang this out real quick, because once this is done, all I need to do is clean up, put this back together, and the car is finished. And I'm ready to get done because I'm cold. Ooh, lights. So I got it all wired up. Everything's done basically for the most part, unless I forgot something. One thing I noticed is this cover ground is like, since it's coming sideways, it's hidden right here. So I might have to modify this a little bit, but I'll do that off camera. It's all hooked up. All the lights are on. Here's the driver's side. One thing to know about putting these lights on is try to avoid drilling into your panels. It's a lot of wires behind your dash. And a lot of times you can just zip tie the lights to the wires that's on underneath the dash, which is exactly how I got these hooked up. And it looks super clean. Don't mind that. That's just like amp wires and stuff. Everything is all hooked up and it's looking super clean. It's looking factory. And I'm gonna put these pieces back on and shoot some B-roll for y'all. And this is the last time y'all gonna see my beautiful face in this video. I hope y'all liked the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment any questions y'all got. I answer all questions. And without further ado, here's everything put back together with the lights plan and everything. Enjoy. Jeezy.